Alright, here we are again. We are doing the Pink Diamonds tier list. I said I was going to do this one yesterday, and then I realized I should do the best cards first. So we did the best cards tier list, and now we're doing the Pink Diamonds tier list. If there's any cards that you missed out yesterday that were in that Pink Diamond tier, I see a few people really upset I forgot Joel. They'll be in here. But if you want to check out the point guard, shooting guard, small forwards, power forwards, centers, and our best cards tier list, all of those will be linked in the description down below, so you can have a good fun time with those. I will say, aside from the centers tier list, all the mass cards will not be in there just because the mass cards dropped after the point guard, or after the power forwards tier list. So all the other ones before that will not be in. So let's get started with it. We're going to show off the hard pass tier, where we have Rajon Rondo, Gilbert Arenas, George Gervin, Ben Wallace, Walt Frazier, and Dave Bing. And I can already tell, probably going to get a few comments about this Ben Wallace being down here, because a lot of people love him, a lot of people say he's absolutely amazing on defense, but I have not had a fun time with the card. I've used him, I did a gameplay on him, and I just didn't like him. Really doesn't fit my playstyle, really doesn't fit, what I like to do, and offensively he really just gives you absolutely nothing. He's just not a card for me. Rajon Rondo is still pretty cool because he's got some nice defense. He's a really good playmaking guy. Same thing with Walt Frazier. They kind of are the same card if we're being honest. Walt Frazier just a little bit better shooter, but if we're being honest, on the grand scheme of things for point guards, they're just not really the most amazing. I got Ron Boone and instantly replaced this Walt Frazier. So while they're both, good at playing defense and playmaking really well, I kind of see them as bench point guards, not really as guys I want on the court the entire game. Gilbert Arenas just has one of the worst jumpers in the game. Nobody really gets too excited to use this card. He's just all around pretty underwhelming. George Gervin, one of the worst layup packages in the history of 2K. It's just always so bad. And this year, with how easy it is to block things, you just cannot drive to the basket with George Gervin. Plus, jump shot 40 is pretty slow, so you're not really going to be getting too open with him. I just think, in general, Glenn Robinson was so much better as a draft reward. I'm just not really excited about this George Gervin. And then last but not least is Dave Bing. I put him in worst of the best. I mean, he probably could sneak up into still damn good, but I'm going to leave him worst of the best just because that jumper is so baited. If you know how to dribble and you're really good with Dave Bing, I think you're really good just moving around, getting open and stuff like that, you can be disgusting with this Dave Bing, but he's just not worth it for the stuff that you're putting in. He still can be a good card, but I think most of us aren't really dribble heads, so it's not really going to matter too much. But if you are, Dave Bing, I think, can be okay, but I'm going to put him worst of the best because it's a high skill cap, I guess, for a card, at least a little bit. Next up, we're starting off with both of the Richard Hamiltons. The only difference between these two cards is the fact that one of them has blinders and one of them doesn't. That's literally it. The unmasked version does not have blinders, but you can add it, and then the masked version of him has Hall of Fame blinders, which is a pretty decent boost, especially when you consider that he has jump shot 40 in the normal timing, and he also has the power dribble style. If I'm being honest, he's just not very good. He's going to be a pretty good shooter when you finally get him open, but he's not really going to be able to get open on his own. You can badge him up. I just think there's so many better shooting guards out there to use that Richard Hamilton really just, meh. Next up is Oscar Robertson. I keep getting a bunch of hate for this Oscar Robertson. I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot of you guys are wrong on this Oscar. He's just not as good as he's supposed to be. I've gone against him a few times, and I've shut him down every time like it was nothing. There's other point guards that we'll see later in the list who I've had a problem guarding, and this Oscar just isn't it. Like, if you have fun with Oscar and you think he's cool, that is great. But for a lock and reward especially, he's just pretty underwhelming. He's really good at, getting an open shot, finishing a little bit, and playmaking pretty nice, but his defense is just terrible, and you have to add a quick first step onto him. You got to add a sniper. You got to add a clamps. It's just, in a mismatch expert, it just doesn't come with the key badges. You even have to add, post drives or maybe a giant slayer, stuff like that. It's just really not too worth it. Plus, he only has the normal timing where somebody like a Taylor Horton Tucker got it on quick, and he has the base dribble style as well. I'm not a huge fan of this Oscar Robertson, but I do think he's a better PG than the guys that we have down here in the worst of the best. Next up is our man, Jerry Lucas. A nice little stretch big, but he's kind of been falling out of favor for me recently. He does have a nice rattling jump shot base. He can shoot pretty well, some decent defense, rebounding, and post game. But all around, I don't know, I'm not too special. Some people might put him up pretty damn solid, but for me personally, I think as far as the grand scheme of, Pink Diamonds, he's good, but nothing crazy. Alright, next up is going to be our man Dale Ellis, and I guess I'll put in Allen Houston as well. I put in these guys both in the still damn good. Like, they're still damn good cards, but I'm just not really jump out of my socks to use either of these guys. Like, I'm not excited about moving up the collector level to get him. I don't really want to get Dale Ellis. They both have the rail and base and are pretty good shooters. I think Allen Houston's better because you can badge him up a little bit, but all around, I'm just not really too impressed with either of these cards because, I don't know, the rail and base just feels a little bit slow on that normal timing. I think on quick, once we finally get some of those, it's going to be gross. But right now, both of these guys, I'm just like, meh on them. Next up is our man Brad Daughtry, who for a Pink Diamond Token Market Center, not bad. But in the grand scheme of like Pink Diamond Centers, you know, a little bit underwhelming. The thing about Brad Daughtry is he does have only like a 65 3-point shot, so you really got to badge it up to really get something crazy. And jump shot 36 is a pretty slow jumper, so on top of already having a lower 3-point shot, meaning your jumper is going to be slower, he has a slow jumper, which is kind of tough. If you do badge him up, he could be nice. I think defensively and just being a good post guy, he's pretty solid. A little bit slow, but all around, he's a good Pink Diamond, just nothing crazy. Next up is my man Zion Williamson, another card that I know some people like, but I just haven't really been too impressed with when I'm using him. He's alright. Again, I've been trying to judge a lot of cards by how much I've found them to be a problem, and a guy like Zion, when it comes to slashing, he's a bit of a beast. But really doesn't have any defense that I was really too scared about. If you run him at the power forward, there's a lot of power forwards you can run that are taller than him that can pop him. If you run him at the center, Lord help you, go up against like a Cream or something like that, and he is getting absolutely plucked. And really just is not too much of a threat as a shooter because the jumper is a little bit slow. The base dribble style means he feels clunky. I'm just not really a fan of this Zion. And then, last but not least, and are still damn good, is our guy Bernard King, who is a new Pink Diamond that we got pretty decent. I think he's got like jump shot 5 or something like that, which is a little bit slow on that normal timing, but he does come with like silver clams, go quick first steps, some nice finishing and stuff like that. But I've heard because of that base dribble style, he is insanely clunky. Like, base dribble style really just kills anybody out there. If a card has it, it's almost just an okay thing to know that you're really just gonna have to catch and shoot with him, and he's gonna have to be an off-wall guy because it is so bad. It might be the worst, you know, dribble style that we've ever had in 2K. Starting off our pretty damn solid tier, we have our man Wilt Chamberlain, who is obviously one of the best guys at just being a back to the basket big. That's gonna drop step the hell out of you, dunk and everything, get rebounds and smack shots away from the paint. He is damn good at it, but you cannot take anything outside of like 8 feet from the basket. Next up is our man Vince Carter, another card that a lot of people like and were upset that I didn't include into the other list. I think he's one of the best Pink Diamonds, one of the best overall cards. Nah, I don't really know. But Vince Carter, I think it's pretty cool that Vince Carter jumper is definitely going to be a little bit slow. The slasher dribble style isn't the best, but it's definitely better than the base dribble style, so we'll give him some credit for that. One of the best finishers that you could possibly find in the game, but it's going to be a little bit awkward getting to it with only silver quick first step. But I do think you can make it work. If you badge him up, you know, give him clams and all this other stuff and really make him a crazy card, I think you probably can move him up a tier. But I think the base Vince Carter is sitting there pretty damn solid because, again, I haven't really had too much trouble shutting him down. It's just how it is. Next up is my guy, Pete Maravich. If you want somebody who is going to come out there and absolutely light the competition up on offense, Pete Maravich has got it on lock, man. Hall of Fame ankle breaker, a bunch of great playmaking badges on gold, a 93 3-point shot, Hall of Fame catch and shoot, mismatch, and stop and pop with silver chef, gold blinders. The dude's a demon. And that railing basically crazy. Plus, he has the shifty dribble style, so he's going to be moving around like a menace on the court and just dropping buckets on people. Not really the greatest of defense, which is why he's down here, but offensively, this guy is... he's a god. Next up is my man, Pink Diamond Michael Jordan, another card a lot of people really like. I know that he's a pretty popular card. I've seen him a few times here and there. But the thing with Michael Jordan is, on his base card, he's missing a few key badges that I think could make him pretty great. Obviously, Giant Slayer is one that he really could use. Quick first step, again, really could use. You can add quick first step to him, which is nice. I think I would love to see a sniper, but it kind of makes sense that he doesn't have it. So there's that. Defensively, he's going to be an absolutely amazing card, and he's a great finisher, but that slasher dribble style really kind of hurts him, and I think doesn't really improve it. And the fact that you have to add quick first step is kind of tough, because again, I'm taking these at base card value, and he's just not really too insane. Next up is our man Elgin Baylor. The curse of the base dribble style comes up again. If you ever, I'm assuming by the time that the end of 2K comes, we are all going to be sick of seeing and talking about the base dribble style killing cards. Because if it weren't for the base dribble style, bronze clamps, gold quick first step, the Brook Lopez base, absolutely insane finishing, this card could be insane. And then they gave him the base dribble style for the shooting guard, so you can't even really use him as a secondary ball handler and cheese up because he just can't move anywhere. And he just feels clunky doing it because you just don't get the good animations out of it. And it's just frustrating. It's annoying. But if you do use him as just like an absolute cone, he's going to just catch and shoot threes, maybe, you know, cut on some baskets and just play a little bit of defense here and there. He's great at that. But you really are going to struggle having the ball in his hands and trying to make him work that way. Next up is my man Devin Booker. And if I was including personal bias, this Devin Booker would be up in best of the best. But if I try to look at it non-biased, I think this Booker is in a pretty damn solid tier, because this guy, he doesn't got defense. Let's be honest, he's got no defense at all. But oh my lord, is jump shot 4 on quick with hot zone hunter and slippery off ball absolutely insane. The goal blinders, everything like that, like, it's gotten to the point where I just throw it to Booker if he's in the corner, and I just shoot it anyway, and like a good 50-60% of the time, it's green. Again, he's great at getting those backdoors and finishing pretty good. He's got some decent speed. The ball handle's nice, but again, base dribble style coming in and absolutely killing him. If he had the quick dribble style, this Booker would be best of the best, even without the defense, because he's just so good. His jumper's so fast, and he's just insane at getting greens. But still, it's just a run routes and just get open off some screens and some plays. Well, off ball, he is insane at that. Next up is our man, who I didn't put in the right spot, Chris Mullin. Chris Mullin, one of my favorite cards, again, that we have in my team right now. The guy is just an absolute demon. But again, it's a case of the guy just can't really move because of the base dribble style. Also, jump shot 22 is a little bit slow, but even if you're like 25% contested or below, you can green the shit out of these shots with Chris Mullin. A dude has Hall of Fame catch and shoot, clutch shooter, corner specials, hot zone, slippery off ball, and sniper, with goal blinders and goal limitless spot up. Essentially, toss it to Mullin, shoot it, and you're good. The problem that you'll run into is, I especially ran into it, he's not the greatest of finishers, and his defense feels good, but he's a little bit, I don't know, just clunky laterally. I don't know what it was, but he just really wasn't clamping up. It could have just been on the last few games that I was playing with him, something changed in the game and just felt a little weird. But he just feels a little clunky, but still, just straight up catch and shoot, just chucking the ball at the hoop. This Chris Mullin's great, and if he's just guarding, shooting guards, running around screens, he's pretty good with that. But if you try to put him on ball, he's getting cooked. Next up is our man Caron Butler, who kind of reminds me of a Devin Booker, at least a little bit, because I kind of have similar ways that you're gonna, I guess, play with them. In the sense that, like, they're both pretty damn good shooters. Our guy Caron Butler has jump shot 17, sadly on the normal timing, but his Hall of Fame catch and shoot, corner, hot zone, slippery off ball, set shooter, goal blinders, goal sniper, and has the ability to add every single badge in the game, which is nice. He can be a good slasher, he can be pretty quick, but he has the slasher dribble style, which isn't the greatest. But if you do badge up this Caron Butler, you probably could sneak him up into the demon tier, because jump shot 17 actually isn't too bad, and it's decently quick, even on the normal timing. But I think as a base card, it's just pretty damn solid. And last but not least, in the pretty damn solid tier is our guy Amari Stoudemire, who again just embodies, I'm going to get buckets on you and you're just going to have to deal with it, because that's all Amari does. His defense, terrible. Rebounding is alright. Shooting, actually pretty damn good. I actually have gotten pretty good with the release, and he's just all around an insane finisher. You give him a catch and shoot, and the guy's just a demon with that Hall of Fame hot zone hunter. But yeah, the problem you're going to run into with Amari is you're going to get buckets, but you're going to give them up at the same rate, so you're not really going to, I guess, extend too far into a lead. Like, you're going to score 10 points, but he's also going to give up 10 points if you're against, like, a Kareem or something like that. So defensively, just a big liability. But offensively, a big mismatch, which is nice. Starting off our baby demon tier, we have the man Sleepy Floyd. I still keep seeing comments that Sleepy Floyd ain't good, and I'm seeing comments now that, like, Jason Terry isn't that good, and I'm gonna be honest, man. If you think Jason Terry and Sleepy Floyd aren't good, it's just simply because you haven't used the card. Like, that is it. Sleepy Floyd is 6'3", has a 6'6" wingspan, jump shot 22, with the quick dribble style, some great dribbling animations. The dude can shoot, has Hall of Fame floor general unpluckable. He's got defense, he has playmaking, he has finishing with a bit of dunking. Like, the dude is an amazing, amazing card. He's not one of the best, but he is a damn good PG, and you are capping if you think he's not good. Same thing with Jason Terry. Jason Terry is disgusting. Next up is our man Russell Westbrook. Dude has given me absolute problem slashing to the basket. If you just call a screen and get to cooking, this Russell Westbrook can get to the basket with a purpose, man, with a purpose. The guy just is an amazing slasher. You're not really going to get the shooting you want, because even though he has a 79 rating, he's a pretty bad, jumper in general. But bronze clamps, bronze assimilator, some pretty good defensive ratings is going to be nice. And he's got a 96 speed, so I think tied for the fastest card in the game. So it's pretty nice. Next up is our man Mitch Richmond, Money Mitch, a guy who you put on the court to just get buckets. Like, just get buckets. He has jump shot 22 and that quick dribble style again, which is absolutely money. And this is what's confusing to me. Everybody loves Mitch Richmond and said he's absolutely amazing because he's got jump shot 22 and the quick dribble style. And Sleepy Floyd has jump shot 22 and a quick dribble style. They're almost identical cards. Mitch is just 3 inches taller. It's kind of weird. But either way, Mitch is damn fast, has Hall of Fame difficult shots, and hots 100, the nice gold sniper. He doesn't have quick first step. You can add it to him, but you can't add any claims, which is kind of tough. But Mitch is just an absolute demon when it comes to going on offense. Spin jumper is money, and you can really click it up and just get some buckets. Just again, you're not going to be playing too much defense, but I think with a shooting guard, you can kind of like hide him, put him on a small forward or something like that, and people will kind of ignore it because most people try to score with their PGs, at least the ones that I go against. Next up is our man Joel Embiid, a card that I got a lot of comments that he wasn't in the last list, and he is here. I just had a bit of a slip up in the other one. I apologize, but Joel Embiid is the man. 7 foot, 7'5" wingspan. Jump shot 47 is pretty nice. And I think the main thing that is good about this Joel is I don't even see anybody use him as a three-point shooter. People just put him into the paint and absolutely dunk all over you. Like, that's what people use this Joel Embiid for, which is pretty damn good at it, too. And he's actually a pretty good defender as well. He doesn't have an interceptor, but you can definitely add it to him, and he's pretty great there. I do think he feels a little bit slow at times and a little bit clunky, and I don't know, that could just be Joel Embiid. I've been able to beat him on the court a few times, just down it, even with Porzingis, who's not even fast himself, which is a bit interesting. But when it comes to just popping people in the paint, Joel Embiid is damn good at it. Next up is our man Glenn Robinson. Glenn Robinson is great. Again, another one of those, I'm going to score buckets on offense, but not be the greatest defender, although he's pretty good as an interior defender, just not perimeter. It has jump shot 29, great jumper, all around, just a really fun card. Next up is our man Gerald Wallace. Does have the slasher dribble style, but is essentially, I'm going to get to the basket, dunking everybody, play amazing defense, and still shoot some damn nice threes with jump shot 4. All around is a great card. If you like guys that can slash and still play defense, Gerald Wallace is your guy. Next up is our man Anthony Davis. I kind of view Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis as like two of the, tit for tat best centers at the pink diamond tier at least. Anthony Davis is absolutely amazing. Both of these guys have good post game, pretty good, defending, pretty good shooting. Like, they're just really good at most categories. They're just not really like the best of the best at any, but they're damn good at everything. Next up is our man Dwight Howard, who is an interesting one to rank because when it comes to backing people up at the paint and blocking shots, he is honestly like a top 2 to 3 center in the game at that, which is just crazy. Just doesn't really have a midi or anything like that to stretch the floor out a little bit, but you could just press triangle or Y with this Dwight Howard, and you'll probably end up with a block 9 times out of 10 on defense, which is just crazy. If this Dwight's on the court, you can't go into the paint. And if Dwight's on the court, you're going to have trouble stopping him from getting to the paint and dunking all over you. Next up might be a bit of a hot take, and it is Dolph Schayes. This is the unmasked version. I decided to separate them from the alter ego set, and this is because there's some, differences between the two other than the blinders. But either way, I think this normal Dolph Schayes is one of the best cards in the game. Has jump shot 38 on quick, absolutely disgusting. He's being money the three-point line in the mid-range. He's stupid fast. He has some nice interior defense and even okay perimeter defense. He has amazing post game. He can dunk over everybody. He can even speed boost a little bit with the right coach. You can add a clams to him, and he's like literally gross. This Dolph Schayes is absolutely insane, but there's something that makes the master version of Dolph Schayes 10 times better, and I just wanted to show that they are a bit separated. And last but not least is going to be Carmelo Anthony. I've seen some hot takes, or some people saying that I'm taking a hot take and not calling Carmelo one of the best cards in the game. I love Carmelo, and I'm calling him one of the best cards in the game by putting him up into the demon tier. I just don't think he's best of the best, because you have to badge Carmelo Anthony up to really get the most out of him. He doesn't have Giant Slayer. You got to add that up. He doesn't have clamps, ankle braces, pick dodger, intimidator, any of that. You got to add it to him. So Melo, when he first comes out, is going to be one of the best shooters and just offensive cards in the game, although it can be a little tough with that slasher dribble style in the LeBron James layup package. But his defense is going to be kind of lacking until you badge it up and really make it insane. If you do that, Carmelo is one of the best cards in the game, but as his base version, I think he's just slightly below best of the best. That's my personal opinion. If you disagree, that's fine. Starting off the Demons tier, we have Steph Curry. I'm going to be honest, it might be a hot take, but I think that Steph Curry is the best card in the game. I mean, I have gone against some people who as soon as they put their bench in and take this Curry out of the game, they cannot score for the life of them. But the second this Steph Curry comes back on the court, it is absolute buckets. Drop 40 a game with him. He is so hard to stop. If you don't want to dribble and just move around, this card is gross. That Steph Curry dribble style is crazy. His Steph Curry jumper on quick is insane. He can even dunk a little bit. He is actually not that bad at defense, but the shooting is just unreal, man. The Hall of Fame catch and shoot, chef, Deadeye, Circus, threes, green machine, difficult shot, stop and pop with the gold blinders, gold limitless, gold sniper. This card is frustrating. Next up is our man Paul Pierce, one of the best small forwards in the game. The guy just has amazing defense, amazing shooting. He has an awesome quick dribble style, so he can cheese around and play make like it's nothing, which just doesn't make sense for the Paul Pierce card, but the dude is he's gross. Next up is Kevin Garnett. He's the best power forward center in the game. He's not actually out yet, but again, I'm ranking these, and I know that I won't have the next power forwards list out before Kevin Garnett is in the game, so I just wanted to put him up there. He's going to be one of the best cards in the game. We're not going to debate it. Next up is the two Kevin Durant. I put these up because I don't think there's a big difference, enough of a difference that you should separate the two cards. The main difference between the masked and the unmasked is blinders, which is perfectly fine. I don't really think it's a big deal. But this Kevin Durant has got good defense. He playmakes like a motherfucker. And he has all the Hall of Fame shooting badges you could want, like Sniper, Green Machine, Stop and Pop, all amazing. The Gold Blinders, Limo, this is crazy. And he's a great finisher. Has a shifty dribble style, the long athlete layup package. Like, he's a typical Kevin Durant card. And the only thing you're going to notice is that this one doesn't have blinders on it, which is obviously a really good badge that you would want. And you can add, but it's still damn good. Like, he's still an absolutely amazing card, and I don't think you'll notice it too much. Next up is, honestly, the second best point guard in the game next to Steph Curry, and it's Gary Payton. I really need to get on my unlimited grind. I've been grinding some other games that I've just had more fun with, but I need to get on my unlimited grind and get this Gary Payton, because 6'4", 6'7" wingspan, the dude finishes like crazy. He's got damn good shooting, even though jump shot 40 is kind of slow, but he's a shifty dribble style, so all his playmaking badges make him feel like a god with that goal quick first step. And then he has Hall of Fame ankle braces, ball stripper, clamps, menace, pick dodger, pickpocket, and tireless defender with gold interceptor, gold intimidator, gold pogo stick, gold hustle. Like, Gary Payton's the best defensive card in the game, and it is frustrating. Plus, he can get shifty with it, get to the paint, and just cause so many mismatches. Like, if you haven't gone at least 12-4 and gotten your Gary Payton, you need to do it now. Next up is Dolph Shays, and we'll talk about the big differences between the two Dolph Shays here. So the normal Dolph Shays obviously doesn't have blinders, and this one does on gold. But the main difference is that the masked Dolph Shays has a 88 on-ball steal tendency, 95 contest shot tendency, 95 block shot tendency, and a 93 pass interception tendency, whereas the normal Dolph Shays has a 25 pass interception, 35 on-ball steal, 65 contest shot, 65 block shot. Yeah, that's crazy. And actually, the masked has a 10 foul, 10 hard foul, whereas the unmasked version has like a 50 foul and a 65 hard foul. So this one is significantly better. He's going to feel better on defense. He's going to feel better in general. Like, he's just going to be a better card. And then that blinders as well. Whew, it's over. Next up is our man, Pink Diamond Chris Webber, who is the reason that I moved Joel and Anthony Davis down to the demon tier. I just think Chris Webber is better in every way. He's faster and just feels better on the court. You badge up this Chris Webber. He's just absolutely amazing. He's one of the best shooters. Jump shot 22 is great. I've gone against Anthony Davis and Joel, and I've been able to contain them a bit, but this Chris Webber just gives me problems every single time I go against him. He's just too quick, too amazing, and causes too many mismatches to really just stop entirely. Now, the last Pink Diamond on our list is going to be Pink Diamond Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, the dude is just crazy. I put him up above a guy like Dwight Howard because Kareem just has a money jumper and an amazing midi that just allows you to even run a pick and pop if you want with him, because you can still hit those deep middies and just have fun with it. Plus, he's so tall that he plays amazing defense. He gets every single rebound, and his post game is just absolutely insane. Like, you cannot stop this Kareem. I don't know why, but I go against so many people with this Kareem that could, every single time we play, drop 45 with Kareem and just never do it because he's seriously that good. You need a Dwight Howard type card to defend him, but it's just, it is crazy what this Kareem can do. So that is our final Pink Diamond tier list. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below, which moves some guys up, moves some guys down. Comment, subscribe, like the video, all that wonderful stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video. Also, I forgot to say it, check out the point guards through centers, as well as the best cards tier list. Those will all be linked in the description down below. I know I said it earlier, but I wanted to shout it out in case you want to check all those wonderful things. And now, I'll see you guys in the next video.